Hi, I'm Father Brian Brooks, and the pastor of the Church of St. Benedict here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and here to offer some thoughts about the saint that is celebrated on the Church's calendar today on this Friday, August the 24th, St. Maximilian Kolbe. And I have to say, he is one of my priest hero saints. Kolbe was born in what's now Poland. His father was a laborer. He was born in 1894. At the age of 10, he has this experience in prayer in which Mary, the mother of Jesus, appears to him and offers him two crowns, one that is red, meaning martyrdom, and the other that is white for purity and chastity. And as a 10-year-old, he didn't pick one or the other, he chose both. So what eventually happens, both he and a sibling become Franciscan friars and later priest. Kolbe had a great passion to spread the good news of Jesus Christ, and also great devotion to Mary, the mother of Jesus. He was a great innovator in the communications of his time. One, the printing press, newspapers, pamphlets, and also radio. Radio was this new medium that comes about particularly after the First World War and then into the 1920s and 30s. Apparently one of the biggest broadcasting stations in terms of being able to broadcast with great distance in all of Europe. But he's not content just in Europe. He actually goes all the way to Japan to establish Franciscan communities there, and also has newspapers, things printed in multiple different languages. And also was the head of his community of this Franciscan monastery, which at one time had over 600 people, 600 members of friars that were there. Then World War II starts. Poland is invaded September of 1939. Kolbe is detained for a couple of reasons. One, apparently he is giving shelter to refugees, including Jews, trying to escape Nazi persecution. Also, the plan that the Nazis had was to basically decapitate the leadership in Poland. It was not unusual when they would go into a town or village. They would gather the three most seemed most important, or at least men who were leaders in the town. Usually the mayor, the doctor, and the parish priest. Stand up against a wall and shoot them. Now, in Kolbe's case, he was detained a couple of times. And also because he was seen as a leader in the church, and also in Poland, and also because of his granting refugee status to Jews. So he's arrested again in 1941, and is eventually sent to the Nazi concentration camp, the death camp in Auschwitz in Poland. The Nazis there had a special hatred, not just for the Jews, but also for Catholic priests. So often he was selected for severe beatings, but he did not lose his faith. He continued to tell the men that he was in the barracks with to pray for their persecutors, would offer Mass when possible in secret. Now, in late July 1941, there is an escape from the camp. And at random, 10 of the inmates were chosen to die for the one person that escaped. And the form of execution was not to be stood up against a wall and shot, it was to die by starvation. And at the camp, there's a special room, a bunker, in which people were put there and to be starved to death. One of the men that was in Kolbe's group that was selected, again at random, was a married man with a family. And when he was selected, he cried out how he would never see his wife and children again. Kolbe stepped forward and volunteered to take the man's place. And when the Nazi officer was asking why should I choose you over him, Kolbe simply replied, "I'm a priest." So that was, again, they had a great hatred of priests, so Kolbe was allowed to take his place, was selected with these other 9 men, put in this bunker. And normally, according to the people who ran the camp, it was a place where these men would die in great agony, screams of pain. But instead, with Kolbe's group, he led them in prayer, singing hymns, urging them to forgive the great evil that was being inflicted upon them. These men died one by one, until Kolbe was the last one that was left. They needed to have the bunker space to starve more people. So rather than to let him die starvation, he was given an injection of carbonic acid on August 14th, 1941. He's seen as a martyr of charity. His body was then incinerated in the crematorium there at Auschwitz. So there's no shrine, there's no burial place, there's no relics, first-class relics as we would normally have the saints. He was canonized by St. Pope John Paul II for his great sacrifice out of love for Christ and love of neighbor. And one of the people that was present at that canonization was the man that Kolbe saved. Again, one of my great priest heroes of the great charity, and also a great joy that Kolbe had about him. Some of the pictures we see of him, he's rather somber, but you see other pictures of him, he's got a big smile on his face. He loved to talk to tell people and share the story about Jesus and to bring them to the gift of life. And so he's a great example of the courageous priesthood, and that is a story that we need to tell, that we need to share, and also to ask for his, particularly for us priests, ask for his intercession for us, that we too will be faithful to Christ in whatever way, in whichever situation that we find ourselves in. So may St. Maximilian Kolbe pray for us, and God bless you and keep you safe.